Yo, 420 Kids live direct in effect, Oklahoma City bound to D-Town. It's going down. Knowledge is key. Dirty Mac and what's happening?
God body. What's the business?
What's the business? In today's episode, we got Finesse 2Tymes talks Opps running up on him in the club, as well as Damar Hamlin rare injury. Let's jump right into this video article.
One thing you got to do is let me get there. And one thing you ain't gonna do is that. One thing you don't do is that. You see what I'm saying? Nah, see, I'm finna get that straight. You need to start making them pay a deposit. That ain't what the business was. They didn't book me. Stupid. Ignorant. You see? You was one of them that had to work in the field. You couldn't work in the house. Your folk, your ancestors, they was some cause that's how you think. So your ancestors thought like some too. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so boom. I get the cab. Probably about 60-something thousand, 70-something thousand. I ain't, all right, boom. Well, I'm eyeballing it. I'm a street. I've been doing this shit all my life. I'm looking at it. The 1-5-10s, I'm looking. I've been doing shit all my life right here. So I'm like, it's probably about 50, 60, 70,000, some shit like that. So I'm like, all right, let's go have a good time. I gets on the stage. I pop my popped it. I'm talking about was enjoying myself. I'm enjoying my first year being out of jail. I'm popping it. You know, if you see me fighting a bird, help the bird. Don't help me. I don't need you, man. Help the bear. I'm popping it. All of a sudden, I say, hey, let me do it for the ladies before I roll. Listen, let me tell you how some cold-blooded. I ain't even forced to perform this song. I don't even forced to be performing this song. I did it just because they were showing me so much love. They were showing me, so I said, man, let me do it for the ladies one time. So I jump off stage. I sit on the speaker, I get in P mode. You know what I'm saying? I sit on the speaker. So my little brother right next to me, it's the honest God truth, y'all. My little brother right next to me. Tay G. So he tell the owner, like, listen, I'm Finesse, man. I walk around with $300,000-400,000 worth of jewelry on. So when I'm in the public, my people is around me, not people we don't know. Don't understand. I done had hits put on me. I got that don't like me. I got that envy me. I got that hate me. I got niggas that's jealous. I got that. So I don't want nobody around me. I don't know what the is wrong with you promoter ass, with you club jumping ass. Y'all ain't understanding it. I am on federal probation. Some niggas don't know about you 6 to 9 months doing niggas. You lame niggas.
Yeah.
I'm talking about real charges, aggravated, no misdemeanors, you niggas, man. It playing with my freedom in my life. And all I'm trying to do is give me some money, man. Raise my kids to be different than I was, and you niggas playing. Make sure everything lined up, man. Make sure I got somewhere to park it. Make sure the stage clear. Make sure this, make sure that. I'm going to come and do what you asking me to do. I'm going to do everything that you asking of me. All I'm asking of you is to help me help you. Help me help you. What the I can't do this by myself. You have to help me help you, nigga. But get what? When I pull up to these clubs, the promoter drunk, and yeah, finesse, what going on? Yeah, let me take a picture. Man, get your monkey ass off the side, man. I came here to handle my business. Let's take a picture on the inside, man. What the f*** your monkey ass right here by the sprinter for? I'm on federal probation. Get the popping right now. Guess what? Get what? If my probation officer feel like they want to call me and say, hey, you can't do no more shows. Now I can't even get no money to feed my little ones. But you gonna continue to eat though. So when I pull up and I jump out and you on this, all this, oh, let's take, man, I'm trying to get in, get to my section, have me a few shots, kick it, go do my set, do what I'm supposed to do, take care of my business, and go home.
That's crazy right there. Get a little insight on that, man. Just as far as the little whole video clip, he had rented the club. You know what I mean? He rented the club, so he wasn't performing there. He rented the club. That's why they was talking about the money. He said he was supposed to give him like 10%. The manager like 10% of it, and that's why he talking about stole the money. But of course, 3 people got shot, and Adam, shit. The manager like, this could potentially shut my shit down. That's probably why he trying to stick it on his peoples, and then it's a custody war. Because most of the times, the people with the less monetary value lose, man. So shit, man, that's just my little insight on it. What you think about that knowledge, man?
As far as I'm concerned on that, I'm gonna say this. Finesse 2Tymes was speaking on business principles. However, it's still mixed in with a culture that's full of ignorance. It's full of foolishness. If you listen to what he's saying, if he's able to conduct himself in a matter, see, he's speaking from, I've been on federal probation. I've been here. I'm getting out. I ain't playing with you. Niggas. Bro, we have the only culture where you have to worry about who's around you. This is what he said. Now you picture all genres of music, and you picture somebody saying, when I go to the club, I didn't have hits on me. I got haters and people that don't like me. Name me one other artist in any genre, with the exception of rap, where this is what you have to worry about going to a concert. I need to keep niggas around me who gonna pull before somebody else pull, or I end up like Takeoff. Like, at some point, we got to be honest. We just got to be real. What he's saying is real as far as business and the life he's had to live up until this point. But this in 2023, we got to recognize the errors. There's errors in a lot of shit that he's saying. It can't end a good way. If that's where you pushing everywhere. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's, each one teach one. We got to grow past the trauma. That man spoke on a whole lot of traumas that he has dealt with over time during that small period of time. Like, I'm able to dissect the good, the bad, the ugly, dissect it all. And when you listen to everything he said, the majority of things he spoke on was the problems that he's had up until this point. The reasons why he can't afford to be with no promoter. You drunk and you want people around me taking pictures while I'm outside. I'm a celebrity. I don't have nowhere to park at. Yeah, you just look at this, man. People rent out these rappers. Yeah, I'm just speaking on that. That's the first part I'm going to get to right now, man. It's just the mentality has to change. I feel what they call them rap music, but like I say, it started off as nobody willing to invest in you able to rhyme words over beats. And none of these labels would invest in this. They called it hip-hop. Higher power helping our people. How do we get to nowadays being called rappers? when everybody knows that you take a rapper off, you take the product out of the rapper, and you throw the rapper away. Like that's just where I'm at with it right there. Yeah, we got a guest on too, right?
Yeah. Introduce yourself, mama. Can
How
you hear
y'all
me?
doing?
Mic check. All right.
Can
How
you
about
hear me?
yourself? We can
I'm
hear
doing
you.
great.
That's good.
I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
All
I was
right.
listening trying to video because I actually couldn't hear anything he was saying, so I didn't get to actually hear.
It's been the same story going on with the rappers, you know, the beefing, the culture. Basically talking about the culture. He had an altercation where he had rented out a club from a promoter and 3 people had got shot. And so he was talking on from his standpoint.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
so his standpoint was basically saying that he came to the club and that you know, I guess he had it booked out. He said, you know, the manager wanted to take pictures with him. He was drunk, and he's saying he'd been on federal probation. You know, he done been through a whole lot of different stuff in life. So basically, he only keep people around him that he trusts, people that he knows. He said he don't let people around him that he doesn't know. So the promoters think that they can get people to take pictures with you when they pay you this money or they get a certain fee. They want to have people around you, but he's saying basically with him being on federal probation and all these different things,
So
he can't afford. Yeah.
okay, I get what you're saying. That could be something. Him just not wanting to be, you know, um, just another way for him to get out of it. You know, get out. I know a lot of the rappers, they really don't be want, you know, different people and things around them before in the past, which I wouldn't find myself in this environment. Like, but I done went to concerts in the past where I paid to go backstage and take pictures, and I could, you know, didn't want you next to them, but it's all a part of the industry, and it's something that paid for. It's like, you know, their life is paid for. They're under contract, and if they don't, then, you know, people can come back and sue them and hold them liable for.
hey, that's right. And I, you know, just would appreciate that insight too, Mama. And just from a little previous experience from being a club owner, man, when you're dealing with alcohol, you're dealing with youngsters and you're dealing with drugs. This is a culture thing. See, we have to put ourselves in the mind of the young lives. You know, these are people out and about. These people just now starting to drink. Hey, what's the drinking age? 21. These are young people. So they're not going to be a fully developed brain like a 40-year-old. So the mentality is going to be totally different. But as far as these people going out, like, I got $300,000 worth of jewelry on, man. I need people around me that I trust. I can't be having these weirdos around me, those square ass motherfuckers that want to take a picture. You hear me? I'm on parole. I'm trying to get in, handle this business, and get out. You know, just to keep these type of altercations from happening. When you're a celebrity, everybody think they can run up on you. Everybody act like they familiar. Hey, man, get the fuck away from me, weirdo. I don't know you. You know what I mean? You know, and that's just the fact of the matter. So the culture thing about the music is I think it's more of an American culture thing, but African Americans is the face of murder, sex, and drugs in America. They only talk about over-sexualization when it comes to rap music or hip-hop. No over-sexualization of the kids on private islands with the pedophilia shit, or none of that. The cheerleaders wearing the same thing that basically a dancer is wearing in college, and she's in the 6th grade, or no exploitation. So they're going to portray a narrative that they want us to go. That's my little piece on it, though. But it's been a cycle. And it's been repetitively pushing in our face. So what you think about that knowledge, bro? because you know we can stay banging on the hip hop or the music or just different perceptions. It ain't a right or wrong one. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I say what they created. It need to be banged on. That shit need to be banged on. Like at the end of the day, if you know for a fact, if you rap about killing a dog, where did Mike Vick go? Mike Vick went to jail for dog fighting. Like, so if we know you can't talk about killing a dog, how long do we continue to talk about step on niggas? I'm a rider. I don't care if this takes place in your community. We the only people that has been allowed to speak that type of language on air amongst each other. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders wear certain things, but they not talking about drinking nobody come and patting their pockets while they sleep, while they sleep,
buying it.
shooting,
They buying
shooting
it.
up the neighbor. But this is what I'm saying. If words have power, be able to use your words and communicate a different type of way. There's a way to use your words to uplift. You don't have to destroy, even if you do destroy. God is both a healer and a destroyer. So if you're gonna do both, do both. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be the only ones that's, out there, being, just, at a certain point, the corrective measures have to start kicking in. Like, the corrective part has to kick in at some point. It can't be forever where they doing it too. Like, what if our purpose here on this planet was different than their purpose? What if our purpose has always been different than their purpose was? Do you continue to say, well, they do it too? Nah, man, they didn't build pyramids. They not written in all the Bibles, the Qurans. Certain tribes was, and people get mad when you speak on those tribes. So why not find out who those tribes was instead of worrying about if it's okay to keep killing niggas, because they do it too. They kill each other too. Yeah, they go to war. They ready for World War III. When do we quit? Yeah, I'm not trying to.
Maybe they think they're getting ready for war. Maybe they trying to play war games and catch up, because the Arabs, the Asians, the Europeans, they all have militaries and they killing on a mass level to where they are having wars. So maybe it's that time. Hey, that's my opinion. What you got for us, Mama? How you say your name? Talisa? Talisa. Oh, I said Talisa. There ain't no I at the end. Talisa. No, I'm blind. You see these glasses. I'm sorry. People butcher my name all the time.
I just say T, but it's fine. I would just think speaking. I just feel like our generation, the generation behind, and I'm 39, so I'm the generation behind us and on down ours with the music. It's just it's so much bondage on our minds. It's so much bondage on our spirit. It's so much. We know that it's more influence than others know in the music with the song. They put that together. That's purposely put together to hold people in certain lifestyles. It's to do this to our people, and it's like without willing to stand up, and it's gonna take people within the industry to start standing up and saying, and it's some that are coming out and some that are exposing the other side, but the money is powering in the contracts and stuff is keeping people from breaking their silence on not about anything. It's to keep y'all, it's to keep the money coming in. It's to keep y'all in bond. Like you say, it's going to have to be a change to where people just start standing up saying, man, it's really not about nothing. It's not helping my pockets. It's not helping my family. It's not helping my growth. Till we can start realizing that we're investing in something that will never invest in our communities, our households, then we have to just be willing to let some of these things. And the music is one big part of it. To me, I know how important it is. It's the music, so I feel like it's gonna come to that, to people just waking up and not fit in and continue to follow behind. But that's like a whole nother, that's right there to get people to do that.
Hey, Lisa, I appreciate you
It's
coming up
just so
too.
many
Because
followers. Go ahead.
yeah, most def. I checked out your song prior to coming on here. The Hear Me, Heal Me. That's right. That's
That's
what it's
correct.
called, right? Okay, yeah.
It's
So
called Hear Me, Heal Me.
yeah, that's what I say. Hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So if a person can hear you and they have words of encouragement, and the words you hear are encouragement or that of healing, then if you can hear that person, then you can heal that person. But if all the words that they have for you is to destroy you, what you bet not do, or the consequences that come after that when you do that, and if you got a nigga they want, they'll take your nigga too. If this is the context you hear from women, would you look at women somewhat? You really wouldn't know what. Basically, what I'm saying is there a distrust built on us by the spells or the words that are spells that come out of our mouths, because we seem to not think that these words don't have power? Like what is your perception? Like, where were you at when you did the Hear Me, Heal Me? What was your perception of what you were pushing out with that particular song?
So with me, that's for it's for a platform, and that's for us to speak out on past hurts. Um, a lot of our parents in the generation before our generation, we hold in a lot, and when you're holding in and you're keeping things, then like I was telling my mom today, um, if we don't, those cycles continue on until we open up our mouth and speak our truth. So hear me, heal me is about speaking on your truth, standing in it, and not being ashamed what the next person will think, because nine times out of 10, that person going through the same thing, or knows someone who has went through the same thing that you have been through. And like you say, the thing, and someone is able to hear it, relate to you, because that's what they're doing. They're relating to the well, a lot of that stuff. They want to relate to it. Let me say, you can't relate to you know having this many women selling this amount of drugs, or being an illusion. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But the heal, the getting in truth, speaking on truth, and being able to put that out there so someone can relate, with you.
Right, life. Dirty Mac. So now that's 100. Um, so the guy Damar Damar Hamlin, how is he doing? I ain't mean to interrupt you, Queen, too, but I thought about that. Like we definitely have to get to that. The guy Damar Hamlin. Um, what's the update? Like the last thing I seen, they said something like he was needing 100% oxygen. Now he's at 50%. As far as oxygen, like they saying he doing a little better. We talking about the guy who passed out on
for the
Monday
Bills.
Night Football.
The
Yeah, for the
Bills.
Bills, number 3.
Me personally, I think it's because he got the shot, and they crucified somebody who said he had got the shot. And before we get to that, man, I'm gonna just ask this question about the rap music, and then I'm gonna let people ponder on it. People don't gotta answer it. If we know that this a negative message being portrayed in the music, by the rappers. Why do we only crucify the rappers? No one is talking about the labels, the Jewish executives promoting the dehumanization of African Americans and the master to slave relationship right now. We don't promote that. So that is the truth that's being told. It's unfortunate. It's the size of the fence. It's a suburban side, it's a ghetto side, it's a house Negro side, it's a field Negro side. It's the same story being played and portrayed in our head right now to the day, and it's a battle itself. So we definitely have work we have to do within the community. We can't be afraid. And man, going on into this NFL thing, man, about the brother Damar Hamlin, his injury.
Hey, bro,
It was a go ahead. What you saying?
Yeah, it's hard to let you get away with that, brother, because I highly disagree with what you're saying, because it still go back to they doing. Like,
who was that?
The people who paying us, the words are coming out of people that look like it's coming out of our mouth.
Who's paying us? Who paying us? We got to identify that. We identified the rappers. That's the same question I just asked. Why do we crucify the rappers?
This is where I was going.
The labels.
The rappers say that they rappers, and then they speak the words that they speak. The people who pay them is in the background. They not saying nothing.
They're controlling the narrative, brother. What you mean they don't gotta say nothing?
So you asking me to label the ones who not saying nothing?
Identify, yes, that's who controls the movers.
Whoever is paying, she said a minute ago, she said the celebrities got to speak up. You know the power in the celebrities speaking up because they're around the ones who are paying them. They know who's signing their checks. Who writing their checks.
We have to speak up. The celebrities don't have to pay us or do nothing for us. This is everybody's fight. It's not a person who got money fight.
We don't want to speak. We want to blame. We want to.
Unless it's the rappers. Unless it's the rappers. We want to talk about rappers. It's their fault. You're portraying a negative image. You're killing, basically destroying ghettos with music. Instead of the eugenics program.
Can I say something?
Please do.
Yeah, that's it.
I agree.
I was
gonna tell you too before you slide into the other thing you're saying. I don't, me myself personally, I don't come down on anything. If you're a rapper, if you're you can be in the grocery, can be at fault, but if you stand up and you do something that you're not supposed to be doing, and you go in a way that that is right, then the accountability regardless of what management is telling you to do, you have a responsibility and an obligation to you should be. And these people know that this industry, they know that the things that they are bringing, they know it's nothing good within it. They know it's not right. It's been exposed too many times. It's not a secret
who is they
anymore.
Who is they? I just asked him the same question. Who is they? We got to identify. We're identifying the rappers. We got to say who is they? Who is the executive producers that's making the rappers are employees. The executive producers, the labels, they're the employers. So you can't come, if you come to work here, you have to work like this. You can't come here and make you want to. Church music sells too. People are selling gospel music.
So that's when
millions of copies.
That's when you stop selling. That's when you stop selling out and you stand on your own something. It's too many of them not to be able to build, but they don't want to build because they're behind the ones that you're talking about in the background.
I can dig it.
Just it's like if you work for someone and they give you this point, you a man, you a whole man, you're a whole king out here. And at some point you're on your ground, or either you can be moved like a piece in the game. You can be moved. So if you can be moved, that's the role that you end up playing. That's how you play your game. But someone is going to have to, solid they gonna have to stand strong, and until they do it, then they gonna have to be moved one way or another.
I can tell you.
That's just how I feel.
And I often say this, you know, I'm 42. I'm 42, but I can go back to when I was 21. You hear me? How I would act in situations. And I doubt, you know, it's and I can tell how I can act in a situation while I'm 42. So if I'm able to take myself and transcend back into these, I'm still messing around with youngsters. You hear me? Pulling up on, hey, what's and active in, not in the kids, but youngsters, in as far as dealing with people and dealing with the club scene, as far as being a previous club owner. So that scenery, man, they do the right thing. I get it, man. Like Spike Lee, shit. But it's a reality, you know, a narrative that's being portrayed that we often don't speak about it, because especially if we're not seeing it or living in it, you know, when motherfucker come up in the ghetto or something and they transition to the suburbs, the good shit, you know what I mean? Better schools for the children, PTA meetings, upgrade from food stamps, you know what I mean? Shit like that. So it's definitely a different side. So I see what people saying. What you got, Knowledge, man? I know you over there pondering on something, man.
Hey, bro. Nah, I'm laughing in my head because there are no more PTA meetings. There are no such thing as that no more. Because of COVID, that most people scared to say, parents can't even go in kids' schools no more, bro. It's a 7 to 8 hour jail for the children, bro. In the end of the day, yeah, man, we plan. You know, that's why I want to talk about. I'm ready to talk about the dude, Damar Hamlin, bro. Been a lot of prayers out for that dude, man. He passed. He didn't pass. Word, I say, like, yeah, we saying prayers for healing for that brother, man. Did he do better because he passed out in the football field, and they did make all the players get the jab. The certain thing, but it's not only football players, bro. A lot of soccer players have been passing out. Like there's a document, bam,
all of a sudden,
documentary. There we go. Like you look at that, hey man, it makes you think about things a certain kind of way. So it ain't no suburbs. I'm from the hood and ghetto. All that shit is a mentality. Bro, I know people in the hood with billionaire mentalities.
Yeah.
Bright man, it's scientists that come out of the hood. So when persons say, "Oh, nigga, I'm street," you ain't street, man. They trying to control the sector or the mentality. Like there's a mentality that comes along with everything. But when you guide,
ghetto or suburban, it's a ghetto or suburban. Do you think it's a ghetto mentality?
I think
a suburban mentality.
That was a creation that they.
The house nigga and the field nigga is created, right?
It's created.
Same thing. Same thing. It's the same programming. It's the same indoctrination. It's just like a person, a Christian, reciting religious and Christian doctrine, scripture. No difference. Just like you was talking about the school, the jail that the kids is in, they getting programmed to think a certain way.
Most definitely.
The wealthy people, they don't program their kids. They program their kids to be masters. Masters. In the school system, we're programmed to be submissive, subservient, bow down, pray to the master in a European image or Arabic image, not an image that look like us. So we're used to them killing us and slaughtering us. They teach it to our kids right now today in school. Not no shit we talking about 500 years ago. 2023, they teaching African-American children about slavery. We're your masters in slave. You hear me? So like I say all the time, the rap music, everybody's outspoken about the rap music. Gee, I'm like, if we is this outspoken about white supremacy, we could kill that shit. You hear me? But it's a smear campaign against the young life. I don't have kids. These are parents talking. So I see their concern for the young life. But it's a different side. It's a different vision. You hear me? It's a different vision.
Why should we talk about
your kids is my kids? Go ahead.
No, I'm just asking you a question. Why should we stop talking about what we doing and talk about white supremacy? Why should that be the next conversation?
Because they controlling the narrative, brother. If we talking about the rappers, all they talk about, you said sliding music. It's not called sliding when the dude went to what's that shit? The Sin City. What's Sin City? Las Vegas, and killed 65 people. He's not sliding on people, but he's murdered. He murdered 65 people.
Okay, so who are the nonviolent people that within the last few months they've been getting attacked for looking at Hebrew to Negroes, for saying we the real Jews? If you see, this is what makes people mad. This is what stirs. Why should we focus on white supremacy when we God body? We God body, but now we want to go from this to white supremacy. We're not focused on solutions, bro. We just want to keep
that is solutions, brother. I don't know how we can't see that. African, we're still in a slave. We're slaves, brother. We are slaves.
White supremacy. I've never seen a white person. I've never seen a black person.
Europeans, excuse me.
But
Europeans.
But I'm saying, why focus? If I'm focused, Michael Jordan, if he was focused on white supremacy instead of
rich slave, he's a rich slave.
He wasn't always rich. Bro, it takes a certain mentality. I don't know. We get on this every day. No excuses. No excuses. We used to it. So at the end of the day, if we don't have no excuse, why go from not blaming yourself to blaming somebody else for your issues, instead of taking it to yourself and saying, I am my walking Christ conscious. I am Asur. I am perfect. Or if I'm not perfect today, I will be perfect one day. Why not think like that and work it yourself? And at some point, you won't have nobody else to blame because you won't know nothing else. But you did what you were supposed to do is why you was here.
If people are successful, you can join in at any time. We both long-winded. You hear me? You got to get in there. You got to get in there. Yeah, jump in there and shit.
Where's the white supremacy? I'm more leaning toward what not. I create my own world at this point. No one. I'm not a slave. The reason why I'm no longer in bondage. When y'all were speaking about the schools, I wish I would have woke up soon. Waking up now, my son, he is 14, and I pulled him out of school. Against the law to even take it's people literally thinking that they have to send their child to that. It's sad, but when I found out, I just looked it up one day. Holy Spirit said, get your own knowledge. It's not gonna come to you, find it. And I pulled it up. I was like, what do I have to do from school? You literally have to go up there and sign one piece of paper saying I want to withdraw my, just like that. My son, he didn't know what was going on. I said, baby, come on, get your stuff. He said, Mama, what's going on? I'm in trouble. He said, am I in trouble? And I say, nah, we ain't doing this anymore. I'm his mind. I'm gonna create what he takes in. Can't nobody else teach my son or any good and who they should be, how they should live. Not even at the end of the day, not even me. That's gonna be wrong. But as far as white supremacy, I get it, but I'm going that route no more. Forget them folks. And when I say forget them, it's nothing against them, but forget them. They not stopping anything. When I get ready to move, I don't have to get anything from you. Wait on them to hand me anything to make my next move. So that's what I have to say.
I could dig that. That's respectable. But I will say this before I get jumping to knowledge. I totally 100% disagree with that perception. In all due respect, we used to this. You hear me? African Americans. This is I speak as a whole right now, and I if I was the psych doctor for African Americans, because the mental health right now in the whole population, man, we're sick. We've been through slavery. You hear me? We've been through Jim Crow laws. We've been through penitentiary industrial complex. We're just talking about the masses. You know what I'm saying? We've been through poverty. Most of the masses live in poverty, you know, believe it or not. So most of us grew up on food stamps and shit. You can reach the sky's the limit, but we're delusional to a sense to where it's this false illusion of freedom and color blindness. We are under this. This is why we are left to be exploited. That's why they say, hey, you niggers, they laugh in your face, you know, African Americans, you're the biggest consumers on the planet. You hear me? That's what they, you know, that's a fucking insult. We think we have money and spending power. We can go buy houses from them. We can go get jobs from them. We can go get education from them. We can go get our food from them, and we have power in buying what's already ours. We're delusional. This is my psychosis of African Americans. We can't get shit because we already have it. We got the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder. We some Frenchmen. I can't see it. But that's my piece. We're delusional. We are delusional. Our mental health is running rampant in the African American community. We won't accept that. Like I say, the white dude in Parkland just killed 17 people, always mentally ill. We have, I don't know. In closing, you know, that was my little closing statement before we get to this, get to knowledge.
Most definitely. Yeah. Let me help you. Let me help you understand. Let me help you understand. Let me help you out, y'all.
They'll help us, man. Somebody, whoever.
You correct.
Oh, wait.
We were taught to be delusional.
Delusional, bro. We're delusional. Yeah. We
believe in Jesus Christ, but we don't believe we capable of what we believe Jesus Christ was capable of. We've been here many times through many dimensions. Travel back here. It's a whole lot we don't believe. We are delusional. Like we can't see things straight. We done knew a whole lot of people that we come across every day in this day and age. We come across for a reason. You've known a person previously, but you didn't get it right. Like you still didn't connect to what you were supposed to connect to. So at the end of the day, there are a lot of illusions. But once you're able to break those illusions down from a cellular level, you wouldn't consider keep saying we're colorblind. We the crackers, this. Because I mean, bro, at the end of the day, you just spitting out a whole bunch of shit, and we really don't have the knowing of true history. We started off of mysteries. Like we started off from slavery. Bro, you talking about they saying slavery ended a little over 100 and something years ago. Are you really starting your existence off as a human being right there? Like, so then all these biblical stories and from the Quran and all these religious stories, we believe those stories because
we only slaves in there.
We
slaves in there too.
To 1,000 years. But
in the Quran, we slaves. In the Bible, we slaves.
But that's not it. It's two parts to that. It's two parts to that. You could say we slaves in there. Yeah, they do speak on, people being captive and being slaves in there, but they also speak of people being kings, queens, gods within themselves, within their own rights. None of it says, where in the Bible does Jesus say I'm a Christian at? Now, name me one place in the Bible Jesus said I'm a Christian. Or I'm Christ. Like, it's not end of the day, we got to start critically being able to ask questions. Even the genius ask questions. Like ask questions, get answers. Don't take. We not
apparently we're just supposed to believe anything.
Stone. Yeah. So I'm gonna close on that level, man. Definitely get well to Damar Hamlin. I hope that cat survived. And man, not only him, another NFL player just passed. Bruh, Gangsta Boo, she just passed. Bruh, this year has jumped off. If people thought last year was a certain way, hey, bro, like, but I say we're gonna band together as family and build. When one nation falls, another nation must begin to build itself. So, as far as my thoughts, it's difficult to keep talking about.
Not slaves. We are free.
There we go. Thank you. Please. I
We
appreciate
are.
you saying
We
that.
Hey, you heard me.
Appreciate you
Trust
saying
me,
that.
mama. Trust me.
sorry,
Hey, I'm cool to. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
cool to, mama. I'm cool to. You heard me?
For
Hey,
real.
I'm cool to. Listen, you heard me? Trust me. I would
No,
all
you're
that.
not.
You heard me?
Okay, you're cool
Shit.
because you say that you're cool. So
Yeah. They gotta chop my foot off for me to stop running away from this shit. Let me tell you. Yeah. We're going into this next video article, man. That's funny right there.
Diagnosis has not been released, but some doctors think he suffered from commotio cordis. We want to warn you, we are going to show you the hit one time as doctors talk about what they think happened. Here's William Joy with some perspective.
As the first thing that I thought about, that, oh my gosh, he just had sudden cardiac death.
A minute later, people started calling me.
As horrified Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals players watched and wondered if safety Damar Hamlin would be okay, heart doctors Molly Zerlip and Mark Link had an idea of what the country had witnessed.
It certainly had all the features of a commotio cordis event. It fit it perfectly.
Commotio cordis is when sudden impact to the heart stops it, and it's extremely rare partly because it has to strike at an exact moment in the rhythm.
It has to be directly over the heart. Can't even be a centimeter or two away.
Link has written more than 20 papers on commotio cordis and says it's certainly underreported, but happens just 15 to 20 times a year with an average age of 15, usually in baseball or lacrosse.
It's not associated with any kind of heart disease. It can happen to anyone, really.
Last night, Hamlin was making a tackle. Raising his arms would have lifted his shoulder pads, exposing his chest.
You get hit, you get 4 or 5 seconds of consciousness because your brain can tolerate 4 or 5 seconds of no blood flow, and then you go out like a rock.
Critical to survival is a defibrillator.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I had to pop, bro. We don't know the difference between chicken shit and chicken salad. You hear me? For real. They can say what the fuck ever, and we just download that shit because we so submissive. You hear me? I've seen hits 1,000 times harder than that. You hear me? That's
the
nothing.
first lady said sudden cardiac arrest. That's what she said.
Come on,
they
man.
cut her off. They cut her off and flipped it to a whole different. Yeah,
Man.
you watch that. They tell you.
CPR continues the blood flow to the brain while you're getting a defibrillator there.
The patient will then undergo a bunch of tests to make sure that there's no structural abnormality in the heart or anything else.
And before we go out to that, just before I say, we got to pay attention to historic events. Historic events, man. They talking about the Holocaust right now. And we got to pay attention to why it was a power battle or a structure battle. I've been in prison 9 years. I'm with the freedom. Freedom is in the mind. And, and I'm with all that optimistic shit. You know, I'm talking about the current condition of African Americans. The European power structure is the master, and we're the slaves right now. And with that narrative being portrayed, so the doctors can tell us any fucking thing. They pump us full of, we don't know these drugs. You hear me? They just they play word, man. We have full trust in these people, and that's what I'm gonna pass to somebody else. And that is astonishing to me as the struggle. I mean, have we grown that far away from the struggle, or what actual reality of the conditions of people of African descent around the globe to where we only can see the world individually? That's very troublesome. So united we stand, divided we fall, man. We gotta, man. It's so much bullshit going on. They say it's a lot of good shit. A lot means like the majority. Everybody I know having all kind of problems, monetary problems, relationship problems, health problems. People sick. No, people don't have insurance. People have jobs and shit right now, but they wait till this next year come out, man. These people, that's why it'd be like, we watching the rappers. Man, we need to watch the goddamn politicians and the y'all know the goddamn teachers been walking out of class. It's some real shit going on. You hear me? Oklahoma got 4 days a week in school. For the school week, it's 4 days, right? They put $200 million towards incarceration and took $200 million away from education. So what are they raising the children to be, criminals or scholars? They took $200 million away from education. They gave the police force $250 million budget to use their toys on who? Not in the suburbs. The suburbs not over police. You don't got to be driving in that motherfucker. They just, hey, nigga, what are you doing? We ain't seeing that shit. They killing motherfuckers. These not ghetto children. They killing niggas, African Americans. Look how they doing. Kanye West. He battling with the masters. You hear me? He battling with the masters. Shit. Kanye West battling with the masters, man. So shit. That's who I be watching though. I see now. The nigga shit don't excite me. You know what I mean? That shit don't be that ain't exciting to me. I'm watching these motherfuckers, the real killers with bombs and drones and shit, listening devices like this. I don't know. Yeah.
Now my one out, my Audi 5000 on this tonight is this right here. Man, I hope dude survive. You know what he going through. They did say that, you know, he had cardiac arrest and they shocked him and all that. They said he got his heart back going.
So they'd be perfectly fine.
But if you ask me, as far as the news, they was damn near acting like it was over with for him already. Like he not coming back. That's what it looked like to me. You know, I don't know. It could be a whole lot more to that story, but you know, they don't want people to start talking, people to start putting it together, because that documentary did just come out. All of a sudden, it started hitting a lot of different places, and a lot of what you see on there look like what happened to dude last night, man. But so, with that being said, I'm gonna say this: we got to think it's individuals. That's the only way we can grow is individuals. You know, when most people think of the word individual, what they get out of that word is one. When that word broke down is actually two words: indivisible, duality. It ends in D-U-A-L, dual. Dual is two, not one. So each person or entity that you run across is not one person. They're actually two, but they're two that can't be divided. Once they are divided, that's when a person transitions. They're dead. Your soul animates this body. It's like we avatars. There is a God present within all of us that is connected to everything, that has omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence at all times. So regardless of what goes on, our souls are supposed to sort this stuff out, but instead we look for Bibles. We look for all different kind of stuff. And when stuff really shake out, the only thing we're gonna have is our breath. The fact to breathe and realize we connected to everything, and then connect from that level, and everything else are ironed out. So with that being said, man, we're gonna each one teach one, build and heal, like, share, subscribe. You know, peace. But Talisa, what you got on the closing statement?
You just said a lot right there. I'm gonna close it so I won't have to open it. I have questions about that, but you know, we'll get to that another time. As far as we want to talk about it and discuss it, I want to discuss the Bible statement. But as far as everything, I'm just gonna leave that there, and I'm done for the night.
God body.
Hey, appreciate you pulling up too, Queen. But me in closing, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, man. It's a lot of shit going on out under our nose, because we're not talking about the shit that really matters. We're talking about the oppressed instead of the oppressors, the movers and the shakers. We're talking about the employees instead of the employers. So we're just talking about two different things, but we're saying the same shit. If we can come to a medium. With that being said, we appreciate y'all pulling up. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all heard y'all pull up and y'all fucking with us.